Get to know all your favorite VRChat DJs all in one place. This is VRC DJ Live.
You know, I can't say that we're going to sit here and be like, VRChat is down, so we can't do the program, because we always have time to sit down with your favorite DJs and clubs, even if it isn't in VRChat. But, of course, if it's VRC DJ Live, you already best know that we're doing it in VR when we can. So welcome on in to VRC DJ Live. I'm Rob Roman, your host, and if you are brand new to the program or watching us on YouTube and the many different episodes that we've had over the past year or so, we talk to all of your favorite DJs, all of your favorite clubs and experiences, everyone from the community to producers, to bouncers, to club owners, to DJs, of course, VJs. We like to get to know more about the VJs coming up in 2026, no doubt. But we also like to break down all of the different hypes and hot topics and trends that are happening in virtual reality, even outside of virtual reality. And wouldn't you know it, that the guest that we have on our show today, it kind of has done a little bit of both. And we're going to definitely be breaking down that entire concept because it is an ongoing topic within our community. So let's introduce, we have a Neuro Bass House DJ, Green Gremlin, which will probably talk a little bit about, I'm sure. Occasional organizer, performed for many different groups here in VRChat: Shelter, Sanctum, Tube, Slyfest, Baptism, Subsystem. If you've been there, you've probably seen this DJ perform, and actually coming off of 2 IRL performances this year, Fishbowl and Four Seasons. Please welcome to the VRC DJ Live Studios, Medlish.
Hey yo, how are you doing? Holy shit. The VRChat servers are back online again. Who'd have thunk?
Did you have a moment? Because like I feel like VRChat's been down for quite some time, and I don't know about you. There's a lot of people in here that just they can't survive without it. They need to have their fix. And I'm not just saying that because of the holiday season or even Halloween, but just like I can only imagine people are actually sitting at home either twiddling their thumbs or looking to touch grass. What do you think?
They're just doing me dirty. Like I remember like a few weeks back, I think this was a New Year's Eve event. They also went offline. Like I think it was on the 1st or the 2nd or something of January, and they also were offline. And yeah, I don't know. Just keep your servers up, man.
Well, it's terrible too because of the fact that VRChat, like they'll go into maintenance mode, but at the same time, like they won't tell when that will come back online. But also too,
actual maintenance. Like,
I mean,
yeah, like in like -2 minutes.
Speaking of the fact that like the weekend's almost here, and you could just see like Tupper and Strez sitting there playing like Super Smash or something. They're like, we'll get to it whenever we get to it.
Like,
but even that too, like
Twitch on the mouse, where one of them has to keep pressing the mouse button, and if they release it, all VRChat servers go down, and that's I think that's how it works.
Listen, I don't want to knock on wood because there is no wood here. This doesn't exist, but like at the same time, like like we've had episodes of VRC DJ Live where things just kind of had happened or we've disconnected for any reason. So if at any point in time during the show that happens, like don't panic. We'll try to get back online. Nobody has to like DM Tupper. I mean, please DM Tupper and tell him I'm missing my favorite episode of VRC DJ Live with Medlish. But I mean, even more so too, like the VRCDN was also doing some maintenance too, and actually I was hearing it from our producer that there were a couple of parties happening currently that even through the timeline the CDN was down and it caused such a ruckus. Well, what's your take on that too?
Yeah, so I wonder if they're like together and they schedule their downtime together. So at least it's only one person to blame, right? In this case, Tupper, right? Makes sense to me.
Is it? Are we just? Is that it? We're just using the Tupper punching bag here.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like we need to find some more developers on VRChat to be able to fulfill that role because that guy gets tons of punches.
I think it's just coincidence, to be honest. Yeah, they are, both of them had down times in like the last couple of months, and I don't think it is aligned for now. But yeah, today is the day, I guess.
Yeah, and it's perfectly fine too. Like I would expect them to start doing maintenance right now compared to a Friday. or because
Yes.
even the fact that this Friday is the day for Halloween, but you already have way too many people that are doing some sort of a time crunch to get together their models and stuff like that.
Mhm.
What has it been like for you during Halloween here in VRChat? Have you ever considered getting spooky models or
Oh
having an
yeah.
overlay or something?
I still have one like model, like an avatar. I think it's like 2 or 3 years old at this point. It's from my old hobby. Yeah. I haven't yeah, that's what I've done basically. And with this avatar, I haven't done anything yet. It's just too fucking lazy.
So this is a new model then. This is something that you've kind of rebranded
Uh,
yourself as, or?
yeah. That's my latest model, but it's been whatever 1-2 years, I guess. Yeah, and I quite like it, especially like the hair. The face, I don't know much about it. I like the effects we've done. Like I commissioned a person, Mixie, and she's done a great work on this, especially like with the what's it called? Like the light sync thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, audio link. Yep.
Yeah. Audio link, exactly. Yeah.
So this is.
But
Go ahead.
we've been thinking maybe I'll update it a little bit, and then we're gonna have a new version. And I might get a new kind of head for this, like a face, but everything else I think stay the same.
Yeah, and I'm sure this feeds into the whole. I was gonna ask you right off the bat, what Green Goblin, right? Is that how you? What's going on with that?
It's Green Gremlin. Actually, I think I don't know where it came from. Might be Merlz or someone else, and it's stuck since then. It's just a color, basically. Like nothing special, to
But
be
you don't
honest.
consider yourself a gremlin, though.
Oh, I do. I'm very gremlinish. Just like to fight the hidey holes, do a little bit of this and that,
Yeah,
fuck with some
because I
people,
was gonna say we met up at Four Seasons, and you don't seem like the type of guy that'd be sitting in the corner, just kind of like nomming on a block of cheese, just kind of doing
Yeah,
what you.
because I was already in my mission, right? I was already in the zone where I talk to people and I manipulate them into giving me crackers or something like that. Uh,
That's pretty much how you're getting fed in here, right? Like after a couple of beers, and
It's
you're just
my
sitting there.
only nutrition source, yeah.
That's probably the reason why you're doing so many events, that they're just feeding you box of crackers. I mean, listen, these are the questions we need to ask on this program, no doubt.
Exactly.
But definitely welcome on in,
Yeah.
Medlish. Glad to have you here. And funny enough, too,
Thanks
that
for
before
having
we start
me.
getting into a lot of different things about the VRChat community, we had a little bit of one-on-one feedback, back and forth on social media concerning the fact that VRChat went down. And again, I feel like without VRChat, people don't really have much of a regular outlet to do all of their drama dumping or their complaining besides social media. So, like, some people on social media were saying, well, if VRChat is down, then maybe you should kind of dive into another virtual reality program. I'm not saying Rec Room, because I don't want to go ahead and just put my hand up and say Rec Room, but like, would you even consider, like, if VRChat was down and like we were on the ends of all time, what would you consider doing the show in?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's a very easy answer, to be honest. In VRChat, we got the best kind of drama, right? So you gotta stay in here, right? Even if it's 2 hour, 4 hour downtime, you'll get the best drama in here. So why switch?
But I mean, even in the case, because we were breaking it down earlier too, of the fact that like there are some people that we have on the show that they aren't in virtual reality, or they don't have accessibility. They can't complain now because you could legit just play on your phone, and we can have almost any guest on at any given time, which would be absolutely amazing to have, by the way. But have you ever even considered thinking about that? I don't know if we're actually going to be having a lot of time
Mm.
during the show tonight to kind of dive into the whole Twitch drama and the
Yeah.
fact that like
Oh,
everything that happened during TwitchCon, and the fact that a lot of people are having a back and forth whether or not they want to continue to contribute to the platform, even comparable to even going to YouTube, or if we end up going to Kick
mm.
for any reason, which works great for your
Yeah.
green outlook. But what is it? How do you kind of see it in your eyes as far as the
Uh,
streaming platforms are concerned?
yeah, okay, all right. So personally, I don't care too much about Twitch or Kick or something like that. It's for me just to restream my stream if someone wants to like tune in when they are not in VRChat or whatever, right? So for me, the real place to have a thing in is in VRChat. And I mean, there's also a couple of alternatives, but from what I see, it's still only gonna be VRChat because the most people are in here, the community is established, all the cool clubs are in here, and all my friends are in here too, right? So we were like a couple of offers in some time ago where they were like, okay, we do some events in VRChat, and then we do some events and whatever. But I was always like, okay, I don't have it installed. I didn't have it set it up. I don't know anyone in there. And in the end, it's going to be like 5 people, which is fine. But to be honest, I feel very comfy in here, and I'll stay in here for now, I guess.
So when it comes to just even performing in general, and we've been feeding into it for the past couple of years, but using the VRCDN as kind of a tool to be able to broadcast stuff in here. And I'm not going to also say the obvious too, which I think a lot of people keep forgetting, is that even with OBS, again, almost everybody uses OBS compared to like Streamlate. Gosh, I don't even remember what it's called anymore. They got the Streamlabs. Slobs. That's what it is, the Streamlabs OBS. But I don't know if they could even call it that anymore, because then they have a huge thing about that.
I don't know about that, but yeah. I saw that, but I never used it. But also, in the Japanese community or the Asian community, also have like a different program. What's it called again? Do you remember? Like they have a little bit of a different setup, but more of them are also getting into VRCDN. But they basically have like VRCDN for free, basically. Like they have this like open source structure thing, whatever. Somebody will correct me probably because I don't know much about it. But it's pretty cool, actually. It's very low latency. We've tested it like once or twice.
That's really neat. Yeah. And again, kind of going off of the fact with Twitch and the platforms and stuff like that, I've been kind of trying to figure out if people have been eyeballing the fact that you can just plainly record on OBS. And that's a lot of people keep forgetting to do. Obviously, you do a set and you say, oh my gosh, I forgot to hit record. Or even on or people keep forgetting to take photos or videos or something like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like those are some really rookie mistakes from time to time. But when it comes to the fact of like either rebroadcasting your materials, either on YouTube or any other sort of social platform, I always considered the fact that like, and I would love your opinion on this too, because we are going to be talking a little bit about hobbyist to professional, where you're headed, what you've seen and what you do. But I've always been kind of in the back of my mind saying, why haven't people bought into their own domains, or being able to set up some sort of, like a medlish.com or something, where you have an avenue that you can either post your videos or maybe even go live on that. I mean, I know a lot of the web design websites, for you to create a domain, they have options for you to do some sort of a video editing, live streaming, or even membership services like that. But where do you kind of see that going on into the new year?
Yeah, I mean, if it comes to streaming, basically, and we've got 2 options, which is basically Twitch or VRCDN, right? And I think most people just prefer the quality of VRCDN, which is more low latency. It's like specific for this use case and everything else, right? And yeah, in like if live music, you want the less latency, the better, right? So that's cool. And then when it comes to what you said about uploading sets or something like that, I think most VR DJs also follow the norm, like uploading the sets to SoundCloud or to their DJ whatever website, right? Yeah, and I think that's just the way to do it, because in this case you want to have reach a little bit, right? And the bigger the platform, the easier it is, right? For me personally, I put my stuff on here, which is I think an Austrian website. It's a bit cheaper. It's not too many people on there, but you can have good quality. You can design everything, like the background and whatever, and I like it. And I'm not in here for the reach, so yeah.
I mean, it's good to see that you're posting all over the place too, so that way that people can get access to your things. And funny enough too, like when we started the broadcast here, we were mentioning how many clubs and events you've been doing in here. And it's funny because doing this program on my own account, I've been running into so many DJs that either have performed or are interested in being on the show. And then when we go and do the added research to have them on the show, we realize that their name is on almost every poster that could be on the planet. You know, like for VRChat, like it's not, I don't even know if people have acknowledged the fact that the name's always just sitting there somewhere, or they always come and see you perform. And in your case, again, a really big laundry list to kind of go down. We've already mentioned Slyfest, we mentioned Shelter, we mentioned Sanctum, and a lot of these other, Baptism was on there too. Like, just the list goes on and on and on. How do you deal with this? Like, I feel like if you were going to perform, and I'm going to be really honest with this, I feel like most DJs in here are treating some of these clubs as if they were like Pokemon gyms, where as soon as they finish playing the Pokemon gym, they can wear their badge of honor saying that they got to perform there. So from you saying that you don't really want to do much of an outreach, you sure as hell are doing quite an outreach in VR, playing all these major clubs.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I've played on some bigger clubs. Yeah, that's true. But to be honest, with time, people will forget. Like, if you ask a random VRChat rave scene person and ask if I have been on the Shelter lineup, they will not know probably, right? So that's fine. And yeah, that's why I'm not really reaching out. Like, I guess in real life also you have like this up and downs where you're more popular, you get less popular, and I mean you can work on it to stay popular. But I feel like in VRChat it's even more like sped up in a way, like you have less time to be relevant. So that's a thing because yeah, I think just live in VRChat is just a bit more fast paced. We can get into that too later. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's some people who consider me popular. There's some people who don't know me and whatever. I'm fine with all of that. Like I did my stuff. I had a few really good sets and big clubs and whatever. I really enjoyed it too. But for now, I don't have these super huge ambitions anymore. So that's cool too, I guess. It depends on what kind of person you are. But for me, that's perfectly fine right now.
I think it's a very interesting juggle, and we were kind of talking a little bit about it before at the beginning of this week. It's something that all of us have to go through, and we have to continue to think about because we're so proactive in the scene, and not only with that, but the people that are coming to see us perform, or maybe they're wanting to learn how to DJ, or just want to go to all the events and support everybody. But when we're in here, we're constantly involved with that. We are molded by it, consumed by it. But at the same time too, we keep forgetting about the people from the outside that are looking to come and join us. Obviously, they just made the announcement that the Android and the iOS on the phones just went alpha, so people can come on in VRChat. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to try it yet, but
Yeah,
I can't believe I can go in VRChat while on the toilet and be a part of the action, but also kind of stay muted at the same time. But so we constantly kind of think a lot about all of the things that we do in here compared to all the different clubs that are available. And the reason why I continue to bring that up is because I think there's a lot of people at home that, again, consider Shelter to be like the #1 venue to be able to perform at. I would say, without people booing me too quickly, Sanctum was the exact same way back in like 2024. You know, they took a whole year off this year. They've done absolute boo this entire year. And in 2023, 24, it was just raging over all the different things that Sanctum was up to. So being able to perform for that and having that as a badge of honor is super, super neat for a lot of people from the outside looking at you performing. But during that time, what was it like for you? Because from what I've heard from at least Shelter, you know, it's the exact same process of you trying, like putting your name in, and they put all the names in a hat, shake it up, and then whoever's available to perform will be able to perform, and you get your time in the sunshine. But at that time, how were you feeling? Were you feeling the exact same way as far as like fandom or spotlight or anything like that?
Okay, yeah, like when I played at Shelter back then, I think this was it 2 years ago? It was a very different scene, to be honest. Especially in the youth like sphere, I guess. I don't know too much about the US scene right at this point. So, and what you said earlier with like Sanctum and Shelter, how is it comparable? Yeah, I would say Sanctum is the drum and bass shelter for the EU scene, basically. But you are completely right. There haven't been anything big in the whatever half a year even now. So to be honest, it's funny if you talk to people now, not many people know about it anymore. But back then, it was like a huge thing. And we had other huge clubs back then, so everything's constantly shifting and at a very fast pace. So what I want to get into is when I got into VRChat and when I started to DJ, I was just at the moment where the scene exploded in a club and DJ amount of people, right? And I was very lucky at this point because I was there at this kind of start, right? And it was very interesting. Like over the next year, or 1.5 years, even in the UC, we had lots of clubs having events like in the middle of the week. If you look at it right now, if you go to like timeline, you would see that it's not the case anymore. It's a bit different. Like even in the EU, it's not many events during the week anymore. It was very different back then. It was like a rise of clubs, and with so many clubs, and it died out a little bit. So that's very interesting to see too. And yeah, I guess I don't know if that that's like fits a little bit of the question, but that's my kind of feeling I have on the scene right now.
I mean, it definitely, we're going to continue to help you pave the picture of all of this, and a lot of the different things that we are going to be discussing here on the program today kind of evolves around the idea of some newer DJs coming in. They're getting their new headsets during the holidays. I don't want to say that that's an obvious thing, but as we continue to grow and get a better idea of what the future of gaming is concerned, and I won't listen, it's a little too early to start breaking this down, but I did, before the show, I saw a TikTok about I think it was Amazon, and they have this massive cornfield that they just kind of swooped away to make all of these new buildings to create some brand new chips for AI compatibility. So I can only imagine in the future, the near future, they want to get this up and running within a year, that in the near future, they're going to start building some new chips in America that they could potentially be using for like NVIDIA stuff. And being able to like really make either gaming or virtual reality such a really big thing. On top of that, with the new console, the new consoles, the new headsets, coming up on the, we're going to be seeing it fairly soon, if not already. And if people are trying to put their money where their mouth is to get some new technology, same thing with the consoles and the DJ consoles. So we're going to start seeing that a lot as well. But all those kids are going to be coming in, right? They're all going to be coming in, and they're going to be feeding into exactly what we're talking about, which is how can I bypass all of the practice and the pop-ups and the friendship and go straight to Shelter. I don't want to say that this is the journey or path to straight to Shelter, but it's almost the exact same as like any sort of TikTok content creator on VRChat anyway, is that they're going to be like, well, I know them because I watch them all the time. How can I streamline this to kind of get to meet them or get to know them better? What are the funny words that you could say about that?
I don't know. You just put everything into AI. It's just like even your mix is gonna be AI, and everything's gonna be AI. Your whole persona, and then maybe it's easier.
You think that's gonna be 2026? It's just an AI generated like DJ VRChat?
Oh, I really hope not.
Oh no.
No. Yeah, for real. If you want to, can you even call it climb the ladder? That sounds so weird. Yeah, just very important in the VRChat scene is because everybody knows everyone in our like little club scene. Just get to know people, get to know the important is just a dumb word anyway, but get to know the club owners, the staff people, the DJs, and from there you can go forward. Like if you know the club people, the staff, the owners, you can maybe ask if it's not too big of a club. You can ask if you can play maybe sometime, or if you know a DJ or a couple of DJs, you can just say, hey, let's have a pop up sometime, and then you can kind of go from there, right? And just put out good stuff, right? And you practice a little bit, have good music, good selection, make the people happy, and then I know, maybe you'll get booked by Shelter, you know. I mean, that's how it worked for me.
I know recently I've been seeing that there have been a lot of new kids in here. And by kids, I mean just new users. I call everyone a kid in here when I ever get an opportunity to. We have a lot of new
Yeah.
users coming in here, and I feel like they just collectively they have zero chill. And even recently too, like it even gets to the point where they're just like they will be so straightforward with it. They'll be like, "Can I play this club?" And that's great. That's great to be aggressive, but you also need examples with that. I would assume that you can't just walk in and say,
Yeah.
"I'm a DJ, I play the music people dance to," but if you have no examples, where are you gonna go with that? So,
Yeah.
kind of tied into the fact that you had been performing a lot of these events, and funny enough, I think once your popularity started coming up a couple years ago, it did seem like there was a Medlish uh kind of set happening here, there, and everywhere. Actually, I think the first time that I met you, you were like standing on the sideline, and I remember looking at you, and I'm just being like, "You're here too? Like you're like in almost everything that I see. Do you ever take a break?" But I feel like
No,
that's
no
kind of
breaks.
also a pattern for a lot of the new people in here, is that they have to continue to grind.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I think the grind is good, to be honest, for a DJ. Just hop from one club to another, have a few gigs during the weekend, like maybe 2 or 3 if you're really pushing it. That's what I had like a few years ago. Now I'm chilled down a little bit, like I've maybe 1 gig a week or something like that. But that definitely helps if you wanna get, like, more popular, just play everywhere. That's the thing you can do, but then you don't have, like, a home base, which might also be nice, right? If you wanna have a home base, just try to play at a nice club more often, become a resident DJ or whatever. Like in the U scene, I would consider Just Party my home club, to be honest, because I've been there with them since I started out with DJing, and I still love the people, still love the club, whatever. So that's also a thing. Like I'm personally very spread out into different clubs, to be honest. Some other people, especially if you stick to like a couple of genres or maybe one genre, you're more stuck into a certain corner, which is not a downside, right? It can be a super big upside too.
Yeah. And kind of looking ahead, I was just kind of taking a look at some of the notes that I have over here on the sideline, concerning what you should be doing in here, when you first get in here to perform. I
Mm.
think, and I know one of the things we had been talking about is that nobody has really made a beginner's guide to VR chat when it comes to
Oh yeah.
performing in here. And I don't know if that's something that I need to start or somebody should start, but and it's funny enough too, because without kind of getting too far into it, is most recently I've been kind of looking at a lot of the videos on YouTube concerning the rave community in here, and
Yeah.
there's about 4 or 5 of them that are really good, and they're showcasing kind of the overall aesthetic of what's going on in here, with like the
Yeah.
actual dancers compared to like even pole dancers, to active community members looking to have a greater purpose in here, being a promoter or even starting their own club and stuff like that. And even in the past couple of, I would say in the last year, this past year, it seemed like everyone has started their own thing, and the timeline has started to expand.
Oh.
Lots of different events happening, lots of opportunities for a lot of these new DJs to start something and
Mm.
continue on with that entire thing. I know you mentioned, I wrote down a bunch of notes, so I'm trying to not to be so sporadic with it. I want to make sure that we're in line with all of this too. And I want to be able to get to a point that's very, very important to this program. But as you kind of mentioned earlier, was the fact of when you first get in here, maybe start to understand the different communities in here. Do you think that's the number one thing to start to do? Because I feel like if we are talking about basics of DJing 101 in VRChat, let's just say
Mhm.
Santa Claus came, and he gave you a console, an FLX4, and maybe Serato. It's not what you wanted, but whatever. And then it gave you like a subscription to a DJ pool, so that way you're not just
Alright.
stealing
Yeah,
music on
yeah, yeah,
SoundCloud,
yeah.
right? Where would you go? how would you handle it? How would you kind of come in here if you were fresh? You've seen a lot of the new
Yeah.
DJs coming in here and they're trying, but if you were to give the 101 first steps of coming into VR to explain your DJ, how would you set that up?
Okay. For me, it's twofold. There's a personal line and there's this career line, I guess. So in the personal line, for me at least, it was very important to get like adopted into a friend group. So you're not alone anymore. You have some people you can hang with. They can give you some answers about VRChat. And if it's someone from the club scene, even better, they can give you answers about all this kind of stuff, right? And you mentioned earlier that even the YouTube videos and everything, they don't really tell you too much about the scene. It's like very like who knows who basis. Like even if you create avatars, it's like the best thing you can do is know someone who knows a lot about that stuff, right? Yeah, it's basically the same about the club scene or whatever, right? It's a personal thing, but most important about it is just to feel very comfortable in it. Because for me, I didn't feel very comfy because it's a very weird thing, right? With the avatars and VR, like in total, like a social platform. Yeah, I only played Alex before, right? I think like a certain home base, having some friends is really important. But then on the more professional, like kind of corner, you definitely want to improve your skill, right? The mixing, track selection, and everything like that. You want to get that up, and then also know some people, right? Especially club owners. If you hang around the clubs, you'll get to know them, talk to them, be friendly, and then maybe you can play, and then you can start with that. I think that's the way it works, and it's very much how it worked for me. It's except that back then the launch pad at DDVR/Resumo was really big, and that's where I played and started out too. That was the thing to go to back then, but this was like 3 years ago. I think it changed a little bit.
I'd hate to ask the question because everybody has their own version of it, but do you think you're popular? Do you think that do you think you're as popular as everybody says you're popular?
I don't think anyone said that I'm popular, except maybe Merlz. No, I might have been popular 2 years ago, but I've not been around anymore that much, to be honest. So I'm not that popular anymore. I want to go back more into it and then keep it going. But I mean, I do have my gigs though. I have my weekly gigs, so I'm fine. I'm doing fine, I guess. Yeah, but I don't consider myself popular.
Do you find it frustrating when there's a bunch of people that are like excited to see you, and then you have a bunch of people that are like, "Who's this guy?" And they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's Medlish," and then they're like, "Who?"
Nah, that's completely fine.
No. That's good. That's good though. That's so good, and like that's something else on the other side of the hour that we're going to talk about is being able to break down and say, listen, I think I forgot who I told it to. Oh, I actually was telling it to one of my clients today. I was just like, I'm fed up of social media because people are fed up of social media. They keep going on social media saying about how they are fed up about social media, and maybe they should just, go out, touch grass, enjoy things that they enjoy. And you're over here just being like, well, even if they don't know who I am, then that's fine. I'm just going to just exist and like have a good time. It's so rare to have people like you in VRChat because everyone has a gripe about something. It wouldn't even put it against me if people were having gripe sessions about like not coming in here for the past 3 hours too.
Oh. Nah, it's all fine. I'm good. Just a little bit on the beer side, I'm a little bit more into the number of beers now, but it's still fine. It's still good. Yeah, but just gotta work with what you have, to be honest. And that applies to both the uptime of VRChat as well as to your equipment when you're DJing and the club when you're DJing, right? There's always gonna be some little bit of a chang. To be honest, it's a miracle that it works at all, right? You just have to think about it. Someone is in the living room, has a deck which is connected by USB to a PC, got VRChat running there with a headset with a very weird like adapter or anything. It might be Wi-Fi too. then they're connecting with OBS to like a server somewhere, which might be on or maybe not, and then someone in VRChat, which has a certain API, connects to that, and then people can see that. Like, okay,
I mean,
what
it
is
it
how
does
does it work
sound
at all?
it
You know,
does
it's
sound wild,
crazy.
and we have some people in chat that are also saying the exact same thing. But like, do you think modern people that have no idea what we do in here, do they continue to find this weird, or do you think that they'll at some point in time find a breaking point where they're just gonna be like, you know what? VR chat has been around for a long time. VR has been kind of being integrated for a long time. When do you think it's gonna break?
Mm. I mean, it is weird, but so is real life, right? Everything's fucking weird. But yeah, to answer the question honestly, I mean, it's just an exposure thing, right? Even if you take a vacation for a few weeks and come back, you're thinking, "Whoa, what is all this?" Right? So yeah, I think it's an exposure thing, and it's perfectly normal, but we're not at this exposure level that it counts as normal to the average like club person or whatever, right? And that might take a few years still. Like we're not nearly there, I feel.
Really, a few more years? Like what? Like 2 more? I can't. I don't want to say like within the next year. I don't want to
Maybe
say that 20.
10,
Yeah,
maybe
I was gonna
10
say I don't
years.
know if 2026 is gonna be the definitive
No.
moment. I feel like it's gonna be a weird like time frame. Like 2029 seems pretty like reasonable. 2030. Do you think 2030 is future enough for the future?
Yes, especially in 2030 when the outside temperature is like 50 degrees, people will stick to their homes, and this is our plus point, right? Then people will go into VRChat.
Do you think they'll have enough money after buying a powerful PC and then
Oh,
also
that's a
cooling?
good question.
Yeah, if it's on fire outside, then it's gonna be fire inside based on the zero cooling that you have your PC rolling on. I don't know about you. It's probably too cold for you to just open up a window, but
Look, everybody's like just moving to Iceland, okay? Then it's fine.
hopefully the ice remains in Iceland. I don't know, but we got some pretty good questions in chat recently. And again, this is VRC DJ Live. We're sitting here with Medlish, getting to break down all the things that Medlish wants to think about and talk about outside of the good graces of after you're done DJing. You want to go take a nap and drink your water and have a cookie and maybe even take a shower afterwards. That always seems like a very popular thing. But again, we're trying to break down all of the different things and the different aspects of what goes on in virtual reality DJing and being able to break down all of the things moving forward from the beginning, even to a point where it doesn't seem like popularity has to rule it all. And we have to remember that process, because even though tomorrow is technically Halloween, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm sorry, it's already been Halloween. Welcome to Christmas. November 1st is Christmas. We've all known this, Medlish. I bet he's got some words on this too. But
Yeah,
no.
like we got certain candies in in Germany, which is like a Christmas candy, and they've been available since whatever, like the 1st of October or something. Now every year it gets a little bit earlier, right? And you're like,
Oh, it's the
what
same
the
thing in
fuck?
the United States. The United States, we
It's
get
so warm
we
even.
see the eggnog start appearing
Yeah,
in
stuff like
there,
that.
and wouldn't you know it, Mariah Carey is still thawing, and we won't see her
Oh
for a little while
yeah,
too.
yeah. So
She's
waiting for that in our supermarkets, but yeah, it'll be there.
Man, I can't believe how much she continues to milk that as far as she continues to live. But here in the program, again, you can ask Medlish anything that you'd like. I mean, again, this guy has performed almost every club here in VRChat and has tons of experience, including the IRL stuff that we'll get to momentarily. I wanted to just kind of lay this on you super quick and kind of get a general basis information on this, just because we're always looking towards the future. We're always looking to kind of not only just help each other and how we want to continue a hobby into a profession, but we also want to be able to help people when they're starting to DJ and give them sound advice without it seeming like they're terrible, which, to be honest, they will be terrible. I mean, you could be honest with it. But you have to let them know that they're terrible and they have to continue to practice. But do you think that popularity should be a focus when DJing in here? I know we bounce back and forth again between hobbyist and professional, and it still blows my mind to hear that there's some DJs in here that want to be a hobbyist, and that's it. That's all that they've ever wanted to do. I know in your particular case, I've been trying to knock down your door of an idea of you looking to perform more IRL stuff, and I have to just come up with the realization. Yeah, I just have to deal with the fact that you don't, and like that's fine. But don't think that I'm still stumped about that. So when it comes to for the future of the new DJs that are coming in here, because let's face it, the timeline is just littered with new people, which we will get to know, I'm sure, as we continue on with that process. Where should people be focused on their DJing careers in here? Should there be a moment in time where they even start thinking about professional, or do you think hobbyist should be enough?
Entirely depends on your viewpoint, I guess, and what you want to do. But to be honest, it doesn't hurt to have this motivation to become professional or even become popular in VRChat. That doesn't hurt. That helped me a lot, to be honest, to get better at my sets. But it's a twofold way, kind of, right? It's also a little bit of pain with it. The more you focus on it, the more you criticize yourself, and a double-edged sword, basically, right? And the more you want to play these big clubs, and the less it happens, the more you suffer again, right? So you gotta know what you want. To be honest, the advice I can get there is just have fun with it, whatever you do, and don't be too grumpy about it, right? It's just whenever I had lots of pain in here, right? And I'm pretty sure the popular DJs had too, right? There'll always be a moment or a kind of like time frame where you really want to be popular, and it's where you suffer the most. But it's also where you can get like better in the best way, right? But just be balanced in the way. Just remember there's stuff outside of this. That's the advice I can give, basically, right? So you have maybe a family, some friends, maybe you have a hobby like hiking or something. Just balance that out so you didn't suffer too much. Because if you have your bet on something happening and it doesn't happen, it's the only thing you care about, that just sucks, So be aware of that. And that can easily happen in VRChat with DJing.
And over the fact that there's always something that will be a more positive reinforcement in your life comparable to something that completely sucks. Like there's going to be a moment of suck in VRChat that you really can't get over, and you could sit there and continue to be upset about it or try to figure out new ways of handling it. But and I know we will be getting into it a lot more without it being the Rob Rome's voice show. I did hear of a really interesting quote the other day that I've been kind of feeding into, which is something like, in every video game, you know that you are proceeding down the right path when you come across all the enemies and all of the bad guys and all the bosses. Because if you are playing a video game and everything is just happy sunshine rainbows all the time and you have no challenges, then I think you're just kind of going around in circles, really. That you have to defeat the boss to continue on with your journey. So when it comes to performing in here, you'll learn all the skills, but then outside of those skills, you might beat one boss, but you're going to want to carry on. I'm not saying, again, I'm having a hard time with it right now, just in this moment today, because I just legit said that VRChat DJing is like Pokemon gym battles. And I'm like, don't come in here and start beating up people. Yeah. Like, that's not the thing you should be doing. I mean, especially if you've been drinking or something, but like, but it's kind of true, right? I mean, I would say don't disagree with me, but you could totally do that on this channel if you choose to. But like, that's kind of true too. It's just like, as long as you're having a good time, don't worry about the drama, because you could be focusing your attention on all sorts of different things.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's always the outside drama, especially in our scene. Yeah, we can get into that, but we don't need to. It's a different kind of topic, but yeah, I mean, just be yourself, do your own thing, I guess. Improve your DJing, find some cool people. Everybody has this like filter where they know who's a good person or is not. It might not always be 100% correct, but that's how you know where you want to play, where you might not want to play, and there's gonna be some people who help out with that too, right?
I have some other really great questions in chat that we'll kind of get to before we carry on with the rest of our discussions today, because this time's going to fly, I'm sure. A very important question here from Neo Absolution. Do you ever find yourself playing the same songs when you perform, even if it's different versions? I really love your opinion on that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have very specific crates. Like for example, I have the Space House crate, and for a couple of years I just built it up a little bit, and I kept the old songs in, right? So this means the old popular songs, which I really like, are gonna be played a lot. And then there'll be a time when I'll be okay, let's scrap all of that, get a few new tracks, like maybe 30 to 50 to 60 tracks, put them in there in a new crate, and then select a few tracks from the old crate still, put it in there, and they might even be played more. So there'll be a couple of tracks if you look at my record box right now, which will be played like 30 or maybe 50 times already. I'm very open about that. There's some DJs who think like you gotta play a track only once, which I find weird. If you have good crates, have a good energy, people enjoy it. I mean, you can play the same track like 3 times in a row, right? So that's the thing. It'll save money too. And very important about being a DJ is knowing your tracks, right? So if you know tracks, you can mix better. So yeah, definitely stay on your tracks as long as you enjoy them, as long as people enjoy them.
I'm going to ask a very
Yeah.
challenging question for you, too, that I don't think a lot of people have even considered asking. But if someone were to actually come up to you and ask if you can share your crate with them, is that something that you would be comfortable doing?
I mean, I would share the playlist of the crate, like the songs which are in there, like the strings. I wouldn't share, of course, the songs because that's illegal, right? No, but I'm very open about it. Whenever someone asks me about the playlist from last set, I will gladly give it to them. I'll feel very happy about it, to be honest, because someone is very interested in what I do. So if someone wants the whole crate, I'd be happy about that very, very much too, because that just means people like what I do.
And like, too, there's a lot of people that like to practice in here. And when it comes to that sort of stuff, it's something that I feel like a lot of DJs need to swallow their pride from time to time is, let's just say that, like, I know for me, I've got my popular DJ friends that also produce and they make remixes and stuff. And like, I always feel super awkward and nervous and sweaty and slimy just being like, hey, I like this tune. Is there an opportunity? I play it, but I ripped it. Oh no. I mean I paid for it on iTunes. Oh, can you send me the actual files like that? I feel like everyone feels kind of slimy about it because
Yeah.
in reality you want to be able to support the people that make the music that you perform. That's a given. But I also feel like people are too hesitant to ask their favorite so-and-sos for advice, and I don't know if that's going to be the next step leading forward into VRChat, especially because you can't tell me that there's a bunch of people that come and support, come to see you, go see Merlz. Everyone sees Merlz from time to time to perform.
Yeah.
But no one dares ask the question. I don't know if it's because he's never around or whatever you do outside of your sets and stuff. But like, do you think that's going to be the next big thing for better understanding of how to DJ in here?
Sorry. What's gonna be the next
just
big
be
thing
like
for
asking your favorite DJs for advice. Like if somebody, if you had, because I'm assuming there's a Medlish fan club. I'm assuming.
Yeah, no, definitely ask the people like about advice. Whenever I ask someone in here about advice, they always given it to me. There was not one instance where they said like "fuck off" or something like that. So definitely do that. Especially DJs in here, from all the people I know, all the DJs I know, they'll be happy to help a lot. So that's really cool. And the thing you started out with, like with the tracks, sharing the tracks, like that's what I kind of heard about it. I don't know if I understood correctly, was like, if you got an artist you love and you want to have the specific production of them, right? Might be a track they don't have released yet. You can just always ask too. Like even in real life scene, it feels like if it's not Skrillex or someone, right? If it's like a normal person, you can just go ahead and maybe shoot them a message if you have like them somewhere. And that works too. And also there's like in the VRChat scene at least, I've had a lot of people already sending me tracks when they produce, which is also nice to just put them into the set, right? Or some crates there. So it's definitely also going into the other side, basically. So yeah, it's a very open scene, at least from what I see.
I mean, can you just imagine like cold calling Skrillex and being like, "Hey, bud, can I just get your whole catalog?"
Yeah, that's how I got big in VRChat, basically.
Oh, for real? I didn't know you guys were brothers. I didn't know I didn't know he was
yeah,
from Germany. That's crazy.
yeah. I met Skrillex back in the day, and also um, Dead Mouse, right? Yeah.
Oh, you say that Muzz is your uncle too, right?
Oh yeah.
That's how you got into
No,
Sanctum?
he's my son, basically.
He's your son. Oh man, listen, he's too tall. I'm not gonna go that far. He's either that or you're shrinking. That's kind of a thing. It's VRC DJ Live. We're here with Medlish and asking him all sorts of questions and just kind of get to know him a little bit better. And we're gonna dive into that momentarily. Bad Raffles in chat. He wanted to know, do you have a better time looking when you're DJing? Do you have a what was it? Hold on, I'm going to read it instead of just kind of going off of it impromptu. When DJing, are you looking to have a good time or practice?
I mean, if I DJ live and someone will listen to it, I'm looking forward to having a good time, basically. It might be a little bit of practice in there. I might do some... Wait, give me just a second. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I might just put in a few transitions, which I'm unsure about. And if it works out, that's a little bit of practice, right? And if it doesn't work out, I'll keep a few tracks and make some more safe transitions. And then maybe later in the set, I'll try something again. So it's a little bit of practice if I do live, but mostly it's just having a good time. And also having a good time is not as easy sometimes. If you're playing at a big club, it's more like, I have to perform, everything has to be perfect. But just stick with it, have a good time if you can, because that's the most important thing, right? Especially if you play like freestyle sets where you don't have the playlist prepared.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that
Normally,
because
if you're having a good time, everyone else will have a good time, basically, right? It's just
I feel like that's the
hand
crux of VRChat currently, is just the fact that like if you're going to perform for an hour set, that a lot of people spend some time sitting creating the perfect set. And I can't help but feel like you could really knock that out of the park if everybody's on board. If you only have like a club night featuring maybe 7 or 10 people and they're having a good time, you know, by all means, give them a good time. But at the same time, only 10 people will only go so far to let another 10 people know that you had an amazing set that night. And I also feel like, taboo topic, that a lot of people are way too hesitant. They're too sweaty to just push play and just kind of go off the seat of their pants. So
Yeah.
what do you think? I mean, even going into 2026, obviously we've had plenty of time for people to sit down, nail out a whole hour set and just do really good with it. But I would assume that you and I both really want to start seeing that where people are being real, they're messing up every so often, but they're constantly thinking when they're doing these sets.
Yeah. So I'd say you should definitely play some freestyle sets out there, which will help you a lot. I mean, it's not easy, because if you're starting out, you want to have like this trend where you get better and better, right? Jesus, give me a sec. I'm playing really on the side always. Really sorry about it. And yeah, so it's hard to let go of that, to have this like really good set. But sometimes you just have to practice and have to get into the spontaneous sets where you just freestyle it, because it'll give you lots of experience too, and even it'll help you back into a build set where you have like 1 hour of everything is prepared. And having everything prepared will also give you a little bit of help if you want to play spontaneously. So it feeds into each other. So have both of it. Have the skills to do a prepared set, have the skills to play freestyle. I think that's very important. And yeah, don't worry about fucking up. Everybody will just love it, I guess. Even Tony at Shelter would love if someone would fuck it up. He would be like, hell yeah, let's go.
Just keeping it as real as possible. And of course, along with all the different people that come to see your sets, another question coming in from Mojo Peg. Will there ever be another Merlish set?
Nah, never.
It's over, huh?
Nah, it's over. Friendship over. Nah, that'll definitely be one. I think we're both looking forward to it. Which has been some time. Last one was a tube, I think, and then the hardstyle club, which was it called again? Leather, yeah. And then we had the in real life thing in Eindhoven for Fishbowl, and since then we didn't. So that's like kind of half a year now. I definitely want one more, but we're always looking at what we have on our plate, right? It needs to be like a bigger club that makes sense because we don't live so close to each other. So we want to make it something special. Bigger club, we'll prepare everything. We have our vibe figured out. So yeah, that'll be definitely one sometime, but nothing planned for now.
Listen, we've already broken down the fact that Medlish does not want to do anything in the future. He doesn't want to DJ in the future. No IRL DJing in the future.
Nothing.
Maybe one DJ set a month in VRChat would probably be too much, but
yeah.
But I mean, there's some mystery behind that too. It's so funny. Again, it's such a weird thing to say out loud, but it's a concept. You know, it's like saying, I'll use oh, what the heck is her name now? Saba, the fish girl, the fish VTuber that used to be Gargura. Like she streams so rare, but you have to catch that rare stream, otherwise you're gonna miss out on all this. Yeah, Saba. But like I feel like that's the same thing in here too. Is just like, let's just say Medlish goes on vacation for 2 months, and then you come back and you're just like, hey, I got this next set. You better be there. You best believe people are gonna want to be there.
Yeah. You can definitely spread too thin in here. You play every like 3 days or something like that, and then you don't evolve like vibe-wise, get different sets or something. People will already know what you're gonna play, right? So they might just check out something else. So that's very, very similar. And then yeah, if you have a little pause, it might help. But it also might be a thing where people forget you, right? Because it's so fast moving. Within 2 months, someone might just forget I exist or whatever, and then not come anymore.
You just have to make yourself a much smaller green gremlin to continue that gremlin energy. That's for sure. Another question kind of coming in, and these are very good questions to be able to answer too, especially as we're going to be feeding a lot of. You've been explaining that you have a lot of various patterns that you like to go through to either get yourself prepared, or even when times get stressful and stuff like that, you find a way to relax and you find an inner calmness within yourself. That's not also involved with beer, but at the same time too. But all of this is super helpful, especially because, you know, I think a lot of people right now, even in the United States, we're all pretty stressed out over a lot of different things. That also too, once the Halloween starts and begins and ends, like going into the rest of the holiday season, it's going to be obviously really stressful. So the question coming down, do you still get jitters before performing for larger crowds, and how do you end up getting ready? Four Seasons was a really good example of that too. Like, you didn't seem very jittery going up onto stage, but there's still that moment of saying, I don't, you know, it's the Eminem moment. You know, you only get one shot, one opportunity.
Yeah. Mom spaghetti, everything.
Yeah, mom's spaghetti.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't get that jittery anymore. It sometimes happens, just randomly, even at like the smallest event. Sometimes the bigger events, I don't have any jitters. Sometimes even like only a few minutes. Very random, but it definitely improves.
So when it comes to, there's been some other really quirky ways that some of the DJs in here kind of set that up as well. Especially if you're performing in VRChat, there are ways for you to kind of limit how many avatars you could see compared to the people in the back. You can always limit that ring. I think it was, I don't want to say it was Anks who ended up kind of perfecting it, but there was that time where she ended up DJing backwards. So she was DJing towards the back wall because of her anxiety compared to the people that were in the crowd and having the anxiety of that. But do you think any of that is kind of helpful? And is it really just as simple as just hitting play and then just kind of going with it?
Ooh, yeah, it's actually a good question. I mean, the general answer would be, of course, it's not as simple, because whenever it's leading up to that point where you start play, it's always going to be, okay, there's going to be these people will have expectations. There's gonna be the club owner who wants to see something good, There might be some important people in here, whatever. But at the end of the day, what counts is like you enjoy it first and foremost, and then other people enjoy it as a second thing, right? It doesn't need to be perfect. Very often people enjoy what is not perfect, so that's cool too. But first of all, I'll just try to, for me, that's what I do. But if I have something coming up and I feel like the stress coming up, right, I'll be like, okay, why am I even doing this? Like, why am I going in this position where I feel bad about stuff? Like, I'm going to be like, okay, wait a minute, why am I doing it? I enjoy the music. It's really good music. And I want to make people happy too, right? And if you just focus on that, then it's normally getting better, right?
Well, I think it also
I'm not
comes
saying
with
that
the
it's
higher
easy, but yeah.
expectations too of people thinking that
Oh yeah.
they're going to do their debut in front of 80 people. And I mean, that's all great, grand, and good if that's something that you've dreamed about doing, but that also seems extremely stressful when you're trying to, like, because if you mess up in front of 80 people, you mess up. That's just a given. But if you
Yeah.
mess up in front of like a handful of friends, then they'll kind of throw the tomato emoji at you, but at the same time, like you'll recover. There's always that time to do that. Funny enough, Merlz is in chat. Merlz, maybe we can hear from Merlz if
He
we're
wanted
gonna
to
see
join,
if we're gonna.
actually. I accepted it, but I don't know we can get in there. Request from Rob on here.
Oh, to have Merlz in here to have your support. We'll
Yeah,
we'll
Merlz
actually have
requested on me
we'll have the
earlier.
first official B2B sitting here
Yeah, we can get him
with
in.
Merlish here in the program.
You were Mochopek was asking when the next Merlish is happening. It's happening right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, they're just gonna DJ out of their mouths, and we'll just kind of call it a day. But I mean, we can always phone a friend for support. That's always a fun thing to do here on VRC DJ Live.
There
Oh,
he is.
fun enough. We might, but the thing is, we're not gonna be able to hear him until we get him into the call.
Oh, that's
the thing. I mean,
yeah. Which person are we?
Yeah,
You need
here.
to join the call.
Yeah, we'd have to join you in the call, but yeah, just stand there and be a gremlin for because we can't hear you talk in world. If you could remember our conversations. Hold on, let's see if we can get this going, so that way we can at least get them in here. This is the live part of VRC DJ Live. Funny enough, too, I also accidentally clicked on Vocaloid software too. All right, let's see if we can get him in here. Good. Well, let's properly introduce everybody here. Welcome to VRC DJ Live. I'm Rob Roman, your host. Glad to have you here. And wouldn't you know it, the first time in a very long time, our special guest today, Merlish, join.
Hey yo, it's Merlz, and this is Medlish over here.
What's up?
It's
me, Medlish.
We're gonna push this over here so that way we have you both here. Wow, it truly is an honor, and it's funny too because you're also looking kind of a spooky too. It's tied into your spooky month. What are we learning about bear magic?
I don't know. You probably have to ask Merlz about that instead. But I guess I can. I'm all magical this time around. It's the time of the year. Halloween is right around the corner. That's what's up. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to actually interrupt this program all too much. so like VRChat was down earlier, and then everybody like hopped over to the VRChat Discord and the general text channel and started like spamming in there, and then we both saw each other. And
pull up the servers. What's going on?
He was like, bring up the servers again. I need an interview to do.
I was already we were having little chats too because we were just like, this is a perfect opportunity for us to actually, I don't know, take a nap and relax and not have to worry about this stuff. But wouldn't you know it, like I had my I don't want to throw him under the bus, but my producer was like, VRChat's back up, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing this. But
yes,
it's
Mom.
Yeah, pretty special to have you both here, though. I mean, again, we were kind of also breaking down 4 seasons. We're asking the chat for questions about all sorts of things, and now that we kind of have the new Medlish here, actually here. I wanted to do this at the beginning of the stream to start with, asking real Medlish, I guess. I mean, the real Medlish is over here. Medlish, how did Merlz get his name?
Oh, I cannot talk about this. I know it, but it's up to him.
Because then I would also ask Merlz, how did Medlish get his name?
Okay. I vaguely remember the story. I think it was. Oh, yeah, right. It was like a band name that you liked. I don't
Yes.
remember the exact name, and then you made an anagram out of it, right?
Oh, that's not too far off. Yeah, there was a song of a band. The band is called In Flames, and they had a couple of good like albums back in the day, like melodic death metal, and they had one track called Moon Shield, and then I made M Shield out of it, and Medlish is an anagram of M Shield, like switching the characters around basically in a weird way. And that's how you get a unique username, you know?
I'm surprised you didn't ask the
Not
internet for
like
that. I mean, we've had
Moon or
like how
whatever.
to create your own username, and now that we got Chat GPT, you're like, oh, AI is ruining everything now.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to know your version of how Merlz got his name.
I mean, I
You know
know
what?
it. I don't. It's very connected to real life.
You
So
know
I
what?
know
I'm
everything.
giving you permission.
Kind
Go
of
ahead. Go ahead.
okay.
It's fine.
This dude over here. Do you know some high class wizards?
Do I know high class wizards?
High class wizards.
I don't. I only know Shadow Money Gang.
Okay, it's very close. There's this wizard called Merlin. And this dude is called Merlin in real life, so he made like Merlz out of it, basically.
Just added
Yeah,
a Z
a
to
friend
it.
of
What's really
mine did.
funny, we met another Merlin. Like Merlin is not the fucking most common name ever. Like, and then at fucking not Fishbowl, but at Four Seasons, we met another Merlin. It was a Merlin to Merlin meeting, and I was like, whoa.
Listen, did it have anything to do with your mother pushing you out way too fast, like magic, that you ended up getting that name?
Bro, what the fuck are you talking?
I don't know of any other Merlin. I mean,
Very
my
professional
boss was
interview,
named
okay?
Merlin, but that was his last name. His first name was Mike Merlin.
I was just asking.
It's like I was
What was inside your game
birthed, and it was.
this morning, and can I have some?
Listen, it's been a very long day.
We're derailing very fast here. It's very professional, Rob, okay, but now it's like going into weird corners.
No, it's very simple. My dad was looking through a book of baby names. He saw it. He was like, "That's a good one." No, he cooked.
He cooked. He did cook. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, it was like a friend of mine who was like, basically I was like in a Skype call with a friend, and I talked about, what the point of nicknames is, because usually you give nicknames to people either to differentiate, because people have common names, and then there's the John, and then John and Johnny John, and then you just kind of come up with nicknames to like differentiate between all the Johns. And then also you've got the long names that are just a bit annoying to constantly say. So you've got shorter versions, like short nicknames, right? So that's the two reasons you have a nickname. And I talked about this to my friend in a Skype call, and I told him, like, this. I don't think I can have a nickname, with it being Merlin. It's like it's pretty short and snappy already, and like it's most definitely not a common name. So I don't think I can really have a nickname. He's like, "You're Merlz now." I'm like, "I'm not." This sounds fucking stupid. What are you on about? He's like, "No, you're Merlz now." I'm like, "Okay," and then just roll with it.
That's fair. Listen,
Pretty simple.
I will say, and man, everybody's gonna boo me or they're gonna roll their eyes. This past year, I ran into a D'Anthony. That's like
D'Anthony?
Anthony, but a D in the front.
With a D in the front.
D'Anthony.
D'Anthony.
So
many
because there's
Anthonys.
always been an Anthony and there's always been a Tony, right? Because Tony's the short version of Anthony. But now this is like reverse evolution Pokemon, where it's like Anthony is short for D'Anthony.
It's a shiny Anthony.
I don't know what
you cannot change my mind.
I don't understand that.
Like,
they're running out of words. They're running out of actual names in the program, but
I entirely derailed this whole program anyway. You guys keep going from here.
Yeah,
I'm just the emotional support teddy bear.
That's fair. That's what we're here for, and we're actually going to be learning more about Medlish too, because of the fact of I think a lot of people don't know about the origins of you just kind of coming in here to begin with. So kind of break that down for us and be like, how did you even learn about VRChat? Who told you about VRChat? Were you a gaming nerd when you came in here, or was it the DJing that brought you in here?
Yeah, I just spawned into VRChat. I was molded by it and everything. Nah, basically, I became aware of a VRChat in 2021. It was Stress's video, the introduction to the VRChat rave community or whatever. Like the that video, everybody knows about that. That's the first I watched, and then I was like, that sounds interesting. Do I want to check that out? I don't know. I have an index lying around here, which I haven't used in like a couple of months or years.
Wait, how did you have just an index lying around? What were you using? Were you like a superstar in Beat Saber or something?
Yeah, unfortunately not. I don't even have it installed. I haven't even bought it yet. I might be one of those people. Yeah, so a real life friend of mine, we were very interested in VRChat. We got pretty early into it. And then we had like this, what's it called back then? Jesus fucking Christ. We had like this developers version of a headset lying around. And we stopped using that. It was just fun and was really cool to see. And then I bought an index. I played some Half-Life Alyx, right? And not much else, to be honest. We played a few co-op games, and then it was just lying around. Because, to be honest, like having a headset on it's a bulky thing. It's not very comfy. You'll stop. But somehow the social aspect, it's more interesting. You'll keep it on much longer, to be honest. But I only realized that later. So I watched Stress's video. I thought my index is just lying around. Rave sounds cool. VRChat sounds cool. And then I was like thinking about like a few days. I had to like digest the video, and I was like, okay, maybe let's just check it out. Just maybe one day, one night. And I joined the Discord server, and I was like, okay, we have an event here coming up at this time, and I was like, okay, let's install everything, let's set it up. And I was like the first person to join because I was like, okay, it's glad filled immediately. I'm gonna click join. I was like the first, and then it like took some time to fill the instance, right? But yeah, I was very unknowing about the stuff, but that's how I joined basically. So for me, the entrance point was this video, and then immediately into the rave community basically. And the first event I was at, it was at Resumo at the old spaceship thing. Motorlawn was hosting, and OPSEC was playing, like two really cool dudes already. So that's how I've met them and the first time. That's really cool. And yeah, back at Four Seasons, we met the first time too. Like, I met you and I met Mo the first time too, which was really cool. And yeah, that was my start. I really liked it. I was a little bit socially anxious at the beginning, and I think I said earlier, the best thing you can do in VRChat at first is like getting adopted in a friend group. So you're more comfy about everything. You got someone with you, like a homie, and then you can just jump around clubs or something like that. That's how it started out with me. And then I went into another community, into the VR dancing community, which is like basically like, we call it Zumba in Germany. I don't know if it's the name, like exercise / dancing basically, right? And that's really cool. And I met some really cool people there. And then from there, because my headset broke, I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? I can't be in VR. But back then, DJs were mostly still playing on desktop, right? So I was like, okay, I can be a DJ. So I bought a used old controller and got into that basically.
And
that's the Medlish origin story.
That's the Medlish origin story, yeah. But so you caught the bug by going to Resumo, and how important?
Yeah.
And I mean, again, I want to tread lightly on this because I think most of the people that are in VRChat and they're in the rave scene, they're not too hyper focused on like nostalgia. But as you continue to get older in the game and you have more experience and skills and stuff like that you like to feed off of the nostalgia, but then you also realize that the new users coming in here don't care because they're just coming in to party like how you used to just come in to party. And we keep talking about Resumo being this like pinnacle club of people going in and exploring it for the very first time, and we have a bunch of those clubs in here, Subsystem being one of them, of course, but also too, like, what how important is it for people to experience that? I get that from time to time, being like, you haven't properly been through VRChat till you've been to drinking night, and I love that concept, but drinking night is also older than dirt. So yeah. I'm not saying that Resumo is older than dirt, but like it also happens to be the #1 stepping grounds for a lot of new people that come in here to explore.
Yeah, especially old people. I don't know nowadays. But yeah, concerning having this kind of nostalgia, it's very personal, obviously. Like everyone will have this back in the day thing. For us, it's resume. For Merlz, it might already be different, actually. So yeah, and people might not know what you're talking about. So it's your personal nostalgia kind of thing. That's which is kind of sad, but also kind of funny, I guess. And the people who go into VRChat like now, or maybe like a few months back, they'll have their own nostalgia thing. Maybe for them, I don't know. Maybe Tube is the thing, the nostalgia thing. I don't know. Maybe they don't even know, but Sanctum, because Sanctum hasn't happened like in
For
a
like
year.
a whole year,
You
yeah.
know?
All right, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask the most annoying question possible, but take us back to some of your first sets in here and how you felt and how it felt for you to perform in front of people. How many people did you perform in front of, and do you even remember?
Yeah, somehow back in the day it was more crowded in a way because we didn't have that many clubs. To be honest, I think it exploded kind of 2001 at the end, or 2002, 2003. The club number exploded. So back then, from what I know, like in my perspective, it was basically, as a European, right? It was basically Resumo, it was the DVR, and this was just party, basically, right? And they were mostly pretty much filled, which was really nice. So yeah, I think I played the first thing at the launch pad. Then, which was really crazy. It was during the week as a European, completely in the night, and this was the stepping stone you had to do apparently. And then later I played Just Party with just a EU club, which is easy play for me, right? And they're still around, which is really cool, and it's still for me the home base, right? Still very open, I think, to new DJs too, which is really nice to see. And it was really always pretty much filled. Like you always had like whatever 60 people in there, 50, whatever, which was really nice. And I distinctly remember I had one time where my internet provider had this like schedule maintenance. We're at the same topic again.
Yeah,
and
wouldn't
as
you
soon
know it?
start,
We're
right?
like in that process right now too.
Yeah. And
Merlz,
yeah,
Merlz,
I
what
was
were
writing
you
this.
doing while VRChat was down? What were you screaming? Were you?
I was harassing Sai in the VRChat official Discord.
I mean, what did he end up doing for you? Absolutely nothing. Or
I just kept telling people that VRChat 2 is about to release. They're just like
We're
They're I
about
thought
to
it
roll.
too.
finally getting out of early access, right?
I also started gaslighting people. Like, yeah, oh no, I'm online already. Like, damn, this is amazing. This is so cool. I'm so glad I'm.
Whoa, that's mean, man.
You should have been like,
was
well,
having
you
so
know,
much
you
fun.
could
You
get
know-
into
you know-
VRChat on the iOS and the Android too. You probably should.
I've been telling them, like, you know, this is actually insanely fun. Like, I love doing a lot of banter every once in a while. They should have these scheduled maintenance more often, don't you think?
Just don't say that too loud. They might do
Yeah.
that. They'll probably do that like early New Year's Eve, like they normally do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, Medlish. Go ahead with your comment. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah. So yeah, I had to schedule downtime for my internet service provider while in my set, and I was like so bummed about it because it was my third set or whatever. Like no, you can't do that. And then I messaged the people there, like in the Discord or the organizers, and they were like, "Okay, let's just do it anyways." And I did it, and then I was disconnected at midnight. And it took like whatever 20 minutes, and I was stressing out. I was sweating. It was like, I want to play again. I want to continue my set. You know, even people, if people know, then it's still a bit weird that there's no music. I even put it on my on my, I guess back then, Twitch like stream or something. It's gonna be a scheduled downtime, and it took so long, which I didn't expect, like 20 minutes, and I went back into it. And the people were still there. Everybody was still there, like the same number of people. And I was so happy about it that people stayed for me, basically. And it was so cool. It's just one of my favorite starting out memories.
I love hearing those types of stories too, because I feel like everybody has had one of those moments. We don't share the same moments, that's for sure. I know for me, again, without saying my biz all the time, is when I was getting known in 2024, when people realized that I was an actual human being. There was one club that would give me time slots, and then I accidentally slept in and they were trying to like
Ooh.
DM me and stuff like that. And I woke up 15 minutes after I was supposed to perform. So they just flat out denied me. They're just like, nope, you can't come back. Or you can't play today. You're gonna have to do better if
Yeah.
you're gonna come back and perform. And I'm just like, okay, thank you. And then I've never played for them since. Wouldn't you believe it? But
Fuck. Yeah.
I'm not
I was
saying.
always scared of
Yeah, I'm not saying
that.
that you have to get fame in another way, but at the same time, like if you genuinely don't know who
Yeah,
Medlish is
dude.
and you say that, I mean, I don't know how you would feel about it, but
Like I said, doesn't matter
yeah,
to
you don't.
me. It's
Yeah,
fine.
you're so easygoing guy and not looking forward to well, you're looking forward to the future, just not in that type of way. But I wanted to kind of dive in a
Yeah.
little bit too before we start getting into some of the ways that you break down, when you have moments to relax and try to keep your mind at ease. But we were subtly talking into the fact that it is spooky month, right? It's still spooky month. We're celebrating Halloween. There's lots of maps to go and explore. And we always talk about how there's a lot of DJs in here that just don't do that. All the DJs and all the people that want to come and watch performers, that's all that they do during the weekend. They come in and drink and they go to the raves. But from time to time,
Mm.
we should probably take some time to just go explore and start, talking to people and seeing all these really cool spooky maps, even the horror maps. I think a lot of people, even though they might not like that or not, but what do you think during the holidays? Do you think we should be dedicating more time to that? And how do you think we should start doing that?
Yeah, you should always leave time for that. Like, don't just focus on one thing because that just makes it too important for you, and then in the end you'll suffer about it because something doesn't work your way, I guess. So even if you watch it, it's fine. It's really nice to have like multiple venues you go down to, like just maybe hang with some friends, just talk to them in a private instance, watch some YouTube videos, whatever, or maybe explore some maps, which I really enjoy too. Yeah, I can definitely recommend that. And there's so many communities too outside of the rave scene, right? And there's so many which are really, really cool. So yeah, definitely have a look out on that and just browse a little bit, talk to people, see who you vibe with, and so many cool communities around here.
I know one of the things a lot of people are going to continuously fight about currently, even past TwitchCon time, because despite the fact that we don't want to feed into it, it's here. People are feeding into it. The whole thing that happened with Emaru at TwitchCon, as well as some of the accusations from like the CEO and how Amazon ended up getting rid of 400. I think it was like 400 employees. Recently, including some employees from Twitch, and that whole breakdown, even concerning to the fact that people are constantly back at school, they're back at work, we're at that downtime where it's just like even before Thanksgiving break, people are going to be so focused in on family life and work and school and other activities and stuff like that. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because we want to stay grounded when talking about this leading into the next couple of days. Or a couple of weeks for that matter, because the holidays themselves are going to hit, and you're going to have way too many people that are performing as a hobbyist in here that are worried about crowd sizes, and they're worried about getting that better outreach, or even on Twitch where like they normally get maybe like 100 viewers or something like that, and it's just boiled down to maybe 30 or something like that. What is something that we could proactively learn, in your opinion, to be able to combat that and fight that idea? Because again, you would think that the holidays is a really popular time in here, you'd be getting tons of crowds.
Yeah. Yeah, especially as a VRChat DJ, it's something you have to learn in the long run that it'll be this number and it might be this number. It's sometimes very random. It really doesn't depend on what you do, how good you are, who you are, how popular you are. Sometimes you just go into a semi-popular club and you think we get 40 people or something like that, and it's just an off week or something, and it'd be like 5 people or 2 people or whatever. And yeah, you just have to learn to live with that. It's a pain. It's definitely a pain. I've talked to lots of people who have to go through that, and Yeah, it can be super painful, but it's something you just have to get used to, especially in VRChat, right? And in real life, it's a little bit different because people will pay for entrance and then will stay a little bit longer. But in VRChat, people can just leave like that. And it's very important to just remember it's not you, it's not what you do, it's not your music, it's just very random. And it feeds back into what I said earlier. The most important thing is that you love what you do. And if you are in this position where like the only thing which happens in the instance is like some drunk dead person on the floor, the organizers already left, and it's just you, then you just have to enjoy yourself, right? Just enjoy the music.
I mean, you
Don't
could
worry
also
about it.
DJ on
It just
the
happens.
drunk dead guy on the floor too. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
right. Maybe he'll still listen in. Who knows? Yeah.
It's like the new
But
form of
yeah,
teabagging, except you're DJing on top.
yeah, it'll definitely happen once or twice in your career if you go up here, but in your case, just see it as a funny thing and just maybe just do it for yourself, you know.
Here's another confusing question, and I'm sorry to just keep throwing these confusing questions at you because I constantly think about it. What would it look like to take a break during the holidays? Is that possible?
Yeah, sure. I don't see the problem with that. You can take a break whenever. Doesn't matter if it's a holiday. Maybe it's even easier on the holiday because many people will be on holiday. Like, who knows? Holiday season is always very chaotic in VRChat, to be honest, especially Cup community. It's like so many events. Then some people are not really there who you expect to be there. Some people are there. And it's all spread out too. It's crazy. If a DJ takes like a break in there, nobody will notice, to be honest. Things will pick up back in February or whatever, and then it's just normal business.
Well, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because you do have a lot of people that want to take advantage of that. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to find a better way of explaining, saying, listen, you don't have to continuously take every booking. We've had Jigsaw in here not several times, but every time that we had Jigsaw in here, or even when I talked to Jiggy, he was explaining how he's just like, why do I keep setting myself up for 3 bookings a night? And he, again,
you have to do it. You have to do it.
I mean, you have to at least try it. That's the thing. You can't just be forced to do it and then just call it a day. Not everybody can be like Jigsaw, but at the same time, too, like the only way that you'll be able to figure it out is if you end up doing 2-hour sets, 3 2-hour sets, and then you're just like, oh my gosh, I just killed 6 hours. I'll never get those 6 hours back. But
yeah, the 6 hours getting back is not the problem. The problem is like you're gonna be so dead after with no fucking break.
Yeah, and the fact that you're gonna be doing it both Fridays and Saturdays is crazy.
I try to take care of that nowadays, but sometimes it just happened like you have nothing on this specific weekend yet. Then someone from a smaller club comes along and asks you to play. You're like, okay, I have nothing there. Just put it in. Then someone from a bigger club comes along. You're like, okay, yeah, well, I didn't play there yet, so maybe I should play. So it's suddenly 2 gigs on the same day. And like, okay, should work. And maybe like someone from a big club comes along. Yeah, you are open on this day? You're like, I cannot really decline that. And suddenly you have this 3 gigs again. And I'm not a person who will, if I accepted something, I will not like decline it afterwards. If it's on the spot and they have a specific slot, I will not cancel it anymore, right? Except if I'm like getting sick or something, right?
Absolute classic.
It
If on
still
top
can
of that,
happen. Yeah.
you get like a person, like a friend of yours, pulling up, like, oh, it's
the friend.
my birthday. It's my birthday. Like,
can you play my birthday?
No.
It's your third or fourth booking. What is your friend?
Yeah, exactly.
How can I say no?
Dude, there's like a little part of me that's just like it happened to me and my cousin too, because she got married and she just thought because I was a part of her family, or she's a part of my family, that I get to do DJing for her for free. And she was kind of hinting towards that. And I'm just like, how am I supposed to be living when it's free? I could be DJing some other place. And then she took it very offensively. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, dude. But like, it's the same thing as like, who's going to DJ my birthday? I mean, and funny enough, when they were developing my birthday, they asked me what DJs I wanted to perform. And I'm like, I'm not going to ask any DJs to come to my birthday perform for me while I get drunk. That's stupid. Like, but at the same time, I don't want to throw everybody that wants to do that under the bus. Cause like, I don't know, everybody's birthday is special, but you should also recognize that my downtime is special as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you celebrate and if you want DJs, you should ask the DJs. And if you just want to have a chill time, you should invite anyone, basically, right? Not, like, at least not a DJ, right?
Yeah, and don't have to worry about an actual perfect set. But I feel like that's part of the deal. It's just like, I'll do this, but if I'm drunk and DJing and I'm like sloppy, I'm sorry. Like, like that's what you're gonna get if it's
I don't
free.
think anyone expects a perfect set at a
You will get
birthday.
Vangabus. You will get the Macarena.
Exactly, right?
You'll get
Yes,
Ooh-ee-ah cat, all that sort of stuff. Like, that's what you're gonna get.
Exactly.
It's VRC DJ Live. We're here with Medlish and the magical Merlz, who's just poofed in here. You know, because the front door is open. We kind of get up in there and do that. And of course, we're asking all of the questions. So you guys have a little less than 30 minutes left of the program to ask all of your questions of the people in chat. Just be careful with Merlz. I don't know. You could be asking him all sorts of questions. This is not the Merlz show, but how many questions? How about, let me ask you this. How many questions are you allotting today? If people are going to ask you questions.
Anything. I just don't want to steal a spotlight. This is this is Medlish episode.
I was going to give you like 4 questions.
My initial idea was like to pull up in the back over there and be like, just be a bit of a gremlin for a second or something. But like suddenly there's a chair and I'm sitting on it. I'll take it. Any questions? Actually, this is also a good opportunity if there's any questions regarding Merlish, like our duo act.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. I guess
talk about that process too, because I think a lot of people, again, there's no one has created the VRChat DJ 101 video on how to do this, and I think a lot of people that come in to perform, they do pop-ups and they're just doing their own thing, but I don't think enough people, I think there's more people on the internet, and y'all can fight me about this. I think there's enough people on the internet that are typing into Google how to B2B, like how do you do this? So talk about that process.
I think I know your show better than you do because I know it better because look, back in the subsystem episode I talked about all of this already. This is my callback right here. Watch the subsystem episode. You'll get the ansers.
There you go. See how busy I've been? I haven't been paying attention.
I'm gonna give it a summary real quick though. Like really, there's no one way to do it. There's so many little variables. Like for example, me and Medlish, we pull up IRL. The way we made this work is I built a little PC that's a small form factor so I can take on the go. I used an old GPU that I still had laying around, poor 1070s struggling, and I take it over to his place. He'll have some equipment set up. I'll bring some of mine, and then we just make it work from over there. Like we're just spinning on his setup. I'll have his DJ software on my overlay. That's just kind of how we do it. But I've heard many different stories. Recently, one of the wildest ones that I heard was I think it was Bart's and somebody else. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was Sheep or somebody else. But Bart's was doing a B2B with somebody, and they did it by hopping into somebody set up a VPN tunnel to the other person's network, and then they would do some sort of USB network magic to get both their DJ controllers connected to the same DJ software, and then just video stream it, and then they both control the controllers. That's also one way to do it through the internet. Cool. You're still fighting latency, of course. But that's the drawback, I suppose. I have to carry a really heavy PC for 4 hours times 2 your weight that I get to your place on the train, and it costs money because I had to build the PC and I have to get the train tickets and all that. And I guess they're fighting latency instead. So there's no one way to do it, but
I know Mayor Texas ended up saying that too because. Yeah, mayor of Texas. Mayor of Texas. It's been a long day. The Merlz of Texas.
Mayor, hit us up.
The Merlz of Texas. I want to see that next year, no doubt. But he was explaining too when he was on the show that he was able to figure out ways to do B2Bs in VRChat by connecting either your console or finding a way through the Serato network to do that. And I'm just you're such a mega nerd that you'd be able to kind of set that up.
There's something interesting too. I think it was Beatport. I think they have this kind of web application where you can also back-to-back together with certain equipment, like certain controllers, and it also translates the movement of it, which is good because if it does the input, it's much more it's less latency than if you have to synchronize the music itself, because music is more stuff, right? I never tried it because you just have to use what's available on Beatport. But from what I heard, it's not bad. So maybe that's the way to go in the future, right?
Let me try to break this
is
down a
kinda
little
similar
bit
to having this
more,
USB kind of
because we were going to
Mm.
kind of break down Four Seasons a little bit. I know with Medlish, he was performing for both Fishbowl and Four Seasons. Obviously, I only got to see Four Seasons. I would have loved to be over there for Fishbowl because that seems like a very popular thing all the time. But again, it's going to sound very simple, but break down your B2Bs, how you were able to put that together. Because, I feel like no one talks about that conversation besides you being up behind the decks and having those conversations while you're doing the thing.
Yeah. So for Merlish, we were very specific about it. We played at Fishbowl together, and we have quite some experience about our back-to-backs now. It's like, how many did we have? Like something between, around 15, I guess, at least. Maybe a little bit less. I don't know. Anyways, so we were very specific about how we do it. So basically, we both work for this on Rekordbox. We put out, everybody puts out a fourth of a set. So we have 2 parts each. Maybe I start with first, then it'll be his part to start the second, and it goes back and forth basically. And then we just build up the playlist and send it to the other person. So it'd be like a basically perfectly prepared set normally for this. So we don't have to worry about how it'll be live. That's how we work it. And then we can have very specific changes in the vibe, or dictate the vibe very well, which is really nice. That's one of the things in a very prepared set which you can do. You can do transitions which you would feel iffy about in a spontaneous set. You can do that in a prepared one, because you can check out which transitions work and which don't, right? So that's what we do.
Do you find that's kind of normal though in regular B2Bs?
No, that's not normal.
No,
it's very nerdy. We also have a script which calculates with our cue points we put up, calculates our maximum set time, and then we can just have that and put it at 1 hour, and then we're done. We don't even need to prepare it, play the whole thing through basically, and then we can be pretty sure that it'll work out on an hour. But we're super nerdy about that. But this just works with us. At a back-to-back with Chaika at Four Seasons, and he's a very different person. With us, it didn't work like this too good, to be honest. Yeah, so it really depends on the person.
I mean, to be fair though, the synergy needs to be built at first, and there is a set recording of our very first B2B up on YouTube somewhere. And it's not...
no, that's not.
It's up there for archival purposes, but you don't have to really watch it.
It's also something. Yeah, I think you have to get to know each other, which is very important. It's so weird. Yeah, I didn't think about that when we first started out back to backing, but it's you have to know each other personally. You have to know each other vibe-wise, and you have to know each other in how to build a set vibe, a transition, more technical vibe, right? So it's very interesting, because everybody teaches differently, and then you have 2 things coming in, and you have to make it work somehow.
Here's another complicated question, just because I've been thinking a little bit about it as we are kind of putting a ribbon on 2025. The last DJ event that I went to at TwitchCon was this. It was just kind of like the afters of TwitchCon, kind of just like some of the DJs, some of the partner DJs are getting together to DJ. Most to all of the entire night, it was back-to-backs. So it was a whole lineup of back-to-backs, and I found that super awesome, because you could go see a DJ and they can go up there and rock the house. You could be the next James Hype, and James Hype is always hype. He's doing his thing. But you're always kind of looking for the back-to-backs. Do you think people are expecting that in the future? Do you think we're going to be seeing more events like Four Seasons, but instead of just one DJ, it is just constant back-to-backs with everybody?
I mean, Four Seasons was already pretty back-to-back here, to be honest. I think it might stay this way. To be honest, I would love to play a solo set sometime in real life, because all the sets I played in real life, for the season, was always a back-to-back.
I was gonna say, do you think people would pay more money for more back-to-back sets?
People will always the more Merlz they see, the more money they put in. Not the more, no. I don't think so, to be honest. Sorry. No.
Oh God, I just realized, yeah, it was only back to backs that you had IRL so far. Okay,
Yeah.
we got to get something going there.
Yeah,
Nah, this
maybe
can't
next
be.
year. Maybe next year.
Nah.
No, I don't think people pay too much attention to the back-to-back. To be honest, I see it both ways. I think a back-to-back is something special, but it's always a compromise between two people. And the solo play is always like you get this person specifically with this vibe, which is also really nice, right? So I don't think someone would pay more with the back-to-back.
Well, how about what about like themed sets? Like, for example, back in March, we had DJ Jazzy Jeff performing in Miami, but he was doing a disco set.
Ooh.
Like, if you ended up having an event where like Merlz was performing progressive house,
Yeah.
or have
something
Medlish
special.
performing rock music.
Yeah, I can see that more. Yeah,
Oh,
that would make
I wanna
more
see
sense
that.
because something special. Then, yeah.
But do you think
That
do
might
you think
be,
the popularity of that would start to grow because people are going to start coming out of their shell a little bit more?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. If it's something very unique in a way you wouldn't expect, it might actually put people on. Yeah.
I'm not saying that we're trying to mix up the bag here in VRChat. I'm not saying that we're all bored here with us just continuously doing what we're doing, but like, I will say this year we were able to produce a country event during April 1st called EDM. And it was it was pretty popular. People had a good time and performing these country standards, but nobody would consider like coming in here to perform country music. So I'm looking to shake the bag up in 2026. I'm really hoping.
I've got a good point to make right here. I think we both forgot that we run a club. And that one, whenever it does actually run, is like
Yeah.
Are we talking about the Merlish Club? There's a Merlish Club?
We have to announce a Telofest 2026.
Oh my God! No!
No.
Fuck.
No, I need to know this. I didn't even know you guys had a thing going on here besides you're doing B2Bs.
No,
you were performing for one of them, right? Cloud to Club.
Oh, you're talking Cloud.
Cloud to Club.
Yeah.
So it only had 2 events so far, and it's really just like basically like taking the piss out. Like
only had 3 events. Yeah.
It's bound.
Yeah,
we're bound to bring it back, of
planning.
course. Oh man. See,
Yeah,
I couldn't remember that
wins.
because my computer exploded after that. Don't forget, my computer was down for 2 months because of that. Not because of your event, it was because my CPU died. But I wouldn't have known that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm disappointed. That would have been a crowning achievement if that was our fault. Our achievement. No, for real though. The reason I'm bringing this up is because like, I mean, in general, you're trying to like keep things interesting every once in a while. You know, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, everyone's gonna get bored if they see like Merlz in the lineup at this point. Because like, yeah, okay, let's go for like the Merlz solo set number 1500. Like, no, but like it is kind of interesting when you bring in like the little like the back-to-backs or the little special sets or whatever. Just spin it up a little bit. And Cloud to Club was one of the ways we did it, just by basically going, okay, this is the anti-club. We're basically just like asking people to like completely shitpost sets.
Yeah,
Our set times would be like, you're playing for like 12 minutes, you're playing for 7 minutes, you're playing for 32 minutes. Like we're just like breaking all the rules that we can find, and that had people like love their ass off, and an event would go on for like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it was just like people running around in the like worst of the very poor avatars you can imagine. It's amazing.
Yeah, but we still need all that camaraderie, though. We need all those people doing that from time to time. We need, even the Liquidity people too. While they're there all weekend listening to drum and bass, like they were listening to memes and hard rock and prog rock and everything under the sun.
Yeah. But we definitely need to bring this back. Like Telofest, this was just such a fever dream.
Oh, you can still look up Telofest on Twitter.
Yeah. I think on Twitter I have this like posted this after show video. It's so insane. It's always fun to watch. Yeah, this is like the right energy. It's just the right energy for VRChat. That's just how it should be always, basically.
Just silly and
Complete
fun. And
chaos.
see, that's the thing though too. It's like, I know we always talk about the fact that people going from hobbyist to professional in here, but the people that are wanting to be hobbyists, and like I used to have a problem with it where you had some like DJs with weird meme names, and you go in there and they're playing fart noises every 5 seconds. But to be fair, they're doing it. They're doing exactly what they want to do, and they want to be silly with it. And sometimes we need the silly to keep the whole thing going here. It's VRC DJ Live. We're here with Medlish. We only got a couple more minutes with our green gremlin here. Is it Green Goblin? Because I know you said Green Goblin earlier, and I said Green Goblin.
No, it's Gremlin. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I kind of say both. I usually tend to go with Gremlin, but honestly, both is valid in my eyes. And you don't have a say in this. I'm sorry.
I know I wanted to kind of touch upon it before we were able to end the interview tonight, but you were really focused in on wanting to talk a little bit about better health and like family life and being able to just take some time to go and do that. Again, a lot of people in here, they're so focused on trying to perform every event or performing for every club and or even getting really big to be able to perform for said club. So I want you to kind of be able to break that down for us real quick, because again, throughout this, for the better part of 2 hours tonight, you were just like, I DJ when I want, and I don't want to get popular. So kind of talk to us about that revolution that you had about that, and kind of give us a better understanding, especially as we're diving into the holidays, how we need to continue to just reel it back.
Yeah, okay. That's very interesting. So for me, it was a personal thing, right? It was a journey in a way. Like I started out where I didn't give too much of a shit, and I was like just playing for friends when I met this VR dancing community and stuff like that. And I just went from there to there, went to just party, but it was very chill at this time. And then a few months, a year, whatever, back like into this, I kind of like got the taste of a little bit of a popularity, right? And then I got like super focused on this. You have to play everything, like you said, every club you want to have this goal and whatever. That's where I was for like whatever 1 year, 2 years, until I played Shelter and Sly Fest and all that stuff, right? And after this, it calmed down again, but I think only because I was like, okay, now I have my goals achieved, and then I could relax again. But to be honest, in the meantime, I suffered a lot. There was always like the suffering where you expect more people, 20 is not enough, maybe 15 is not enough. And that's not a good way to think about the thing, right? You also talked about this a little bit earlier. So that's what I think it's the most important, is just to relax, have fun by yourself, and don't take it too seriously. I think that's something Tony said too on the previous episode. Like it's a fun thing. Also, just remember, we're just a microcosm of the scene. We're not this big thing. Not everything is important, and everything is just as important as you make it to be. And if you're just in this thing and this is your whole life, then it might be important, but maybe just branch out a little bit, touch some grass, talk to your family, talk to your friends, do some movie nights in VRChat. Then it doesn't become this important, because if one thing becomes too important for you, it's very easy to suffer from that. So that's just my advice, I guess. And you just have to have a balance. There's nothing against really trying to be popular. There's nothing against trying to improve yourself as a DJ. There's nothing against having high goals. It's really cool. That's what makes our community so good, right? We have so many people putting in so much work, putting in so much energy. Without these people, our clubs would not be as amazing. Our DJ sets would not be as amazing. So there's definitely that, but you still should have some home base outside of that.
I'm going to kind of flip the script a little bit too, and just be like, we do talk a lot about bridging the gap between the VR community and the IRL community. I know for you got to experience the 2 IRL performances this past year in 2025. And as far as like looking into the future, obviously you never really know what the future is going to hold, depending on where you want to go, or if you want to, explore a little bit more, maybe do some more traveling, or even hanging out with family members. But there are genuine people in here that are looking to take the next plunge, the next couple of steps ahead to either set up IRL events. I know those are really popular nowadays with the VRChat community. They just really want to be able to perform somewhere and sell tickets and have that whole experience. But all of that is a lot of work. It's a lot of moving, a lot of parts, and a lot of people, a lot of staff that you want to be a part of. Is it, in your opinion, is it really worth that time? I mean, I know in here, again, our village, our community of people is big enough to fill all the gaps. But when it comes to the entire world of those gaps, doing festivals and stuff like that, I think a lot of people believe that the instant fame is still, you could still get instant fame outside of just being in here all the time.
I think there's multiple questions in there. Yeah, so coming back to the VRChat in real life events, I guess that's very cool. That's cool stuff that people put in the work, and especially like as a DJ, I've only been there as a DJ. It was always worth it. Even as an attendee, it's worth it because you just meet so many people in real life. We've only seen VRChat, and just have to have this little hop over your own, like shadow. That's what we say in Germany, like get over your anxiety a little bit. There's so many cool people to meet, and back when I started out with the first in real life event for the community, I was like, okay, I'm only going there because I DJ too, right? But nowadays, I would definitely just go for the people because that's somehow this is even the most fun part, just to meet the people, talk to them, hang with them. That's so cool. So it's definitely worth it as a DJ too, as an attendee. I think it's probably worth it as the staff too. I don't know, because I'm not in there. They might have a bit more stress, I guess, with setting everything up, making sure everything works, but they keep coming back, so I think it's worth too, right? So that's the thing. And I think you also asked something about getting popular in real life or something like that. So I think these in real life events in VRChat from VRChat community might be a stepping stone, but you always can take the usual way, I guess. I would assume socials are a big thing you have to do. Person not really into that, so I can't give too much advice about that. Yeah, but I would assume it's very similar to in VRChat. Just go to the clubs, meet the people, talk to them, just make some connections, and just makes it so much easier.
So, now that 2025 is kind of coming to an end, what is 2026 looking like for Medlish?
For me, yeah, I don't know. No big plans. I hope there's gonna be one or two like in real life events. I definitely visit again. Let's see what happens. Maybe a Merlish. I hope there's gonna be a Merlish at least once. Yeah, book us. Hey, big clubs, book us. Shelter Tony, whatever. Book us. Nah, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm just very open about it. Also, like, I'm getting more into real life again. Yeah, I know it's sad meeting people in real life without avatars and stuff like that. Getting more into sports. So I'm spreading out a little bit more, not as much in VRChat anymore. So that makes me much more open about stuff. But yeah, definitely want to still be part of this community. I want to get more back into the US scene. So if you like me, book me there. Because yeah, in the US times are really hard to just hang and make some connections. It's like always 4 a.m. or whatever. Yeah, and just want to hang out. I wish the best to the whole community. Wish we have some cool events. Maybe in the EU we can pick up the like weekly events more often. There was like this thing in like 2 years ago where we had lots of clubs during the week. That's kind of died down. Maybe we can pick that up again. Wish more people would come in, enjoy this, see what we're doing, enjoy our good DJs, because we have really good DJs in here. We have a big, like, what do you say, like so many different genres which we spin, which is unusual. So there's so many different things. It's really cool.
But also, too, getting back on track, like you were saying, that being able to take time away to just reflect and touch the grass and do your own thing. I'm sure a lot of people have hobbies outside of VRChat I would say that's kind of
Hopefully.
a thing. Hopefully, yeah. But also too, like you never know where motivation can just like spring out of nowhere. I mean, you could be
Oh
out,
yeah.
you could be grocery shopping, and then all of a sudden you got something in your head, and you're just like, oh my gosh, and then you throw your groceries, and then you go do the thing.
True.
But you
Right.
won't actually get to experience that till you actually go and do the groceries. So that's always a very impressive thing. Of course, as we're wrapping up here on the program, I know Merlz knows exactly what this time of the program is. I think a lot of people that watch this as well, but it's always a very fun time to be able to explain it too, is we have a little bit of a rapid fire questions towards the end of the show, and see if you can answer them off the top of your head, and we'll see what kind of answers you got coming up. But out of everything that we've kind of talked about on this program, between taking a break or even the whole idea of DJing 101, what's a good word of advice for almost anybody that is looking to come in here, either during the holidays or even outside of the holidays, that want to join our community?
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, find a nice friend group which you can connect with, first of all, so you can hop around with them, and then just talk to the people. We're like, most of us are very easygoing. They don't mind if people talk to them, even if they're like in a circle and talk to each other. And you just respect the rules. We have our own kind of set of rules. Maybe get into that a little bit. I think there's some videos about that, and just have a good time.
I wish we had an extra 30 minutes to talk about club etiquette, because I always feel like
Oh, yeah.
everybody has their own version of club etiquette in here, and it not being an actual club, but having enough people in here trying to figure out how to, don't be
Yeah.
rude and all that other junk.
The
So
most important thing is just don't walk through people, I guess, and don't like be in the DJ space.
damn,
because
people
what
are
they
still
usually
doing that, huh? Or they don't
Oh yeah, just
care.
like the last gig, actually, someone was like standing on decks waving and was like, "Okay,
What
this is for
is
me, okay?"
going on? What is this, a Bad Bunny
I was
concert?
like,
Oh my
"Okay, let's
god.
see what they're gonna do next." But then they just left. I was like, "Okay, fine, you can wave from here on.
I guess
don't
I
need to do it that."
I don't show those avatars, so I don't actually get to see them. But I've been trying to find a better way to actually word this question, so I'm going to try my best to ask you. But what is one artist that we can find on Medlish's Spotify, and what is a new artist that you're listening to that we can get to know?
A new artist I listen to.
Yeah, we want to know what you're listening to currently.
Yeah. I think so. I don't think they're new. I recently got into Sleep Token. They have this new album which is popping off. I don't know. It's called Even in Arcadia.
What are your
It's
thoughts
a
about his
very
tour? I'm sure you've been watching a lot of his clips on YouTube from his tour.
No, actually not. I just enjoy
Oh my
this album so
gosh.
much. It's such a really, really good blend. And I've been at Metalhead right before, like back in the days when I was young, and this gives me so much hope for like acoustic. I guess, like as in the opposite of electronic music in general, it gives me so much hope for that genre, like in this broad sense, because it's such an interesting blend. Yeah, otherwise, I always love to listen to some old albums. I got it's kind of atmospheric black metal. I've got Agalog, which is a band from the US, I think, which did a lot of like this atmospheric black metal, which you would more normally attribute to the Northern Europe kind of thing, right? Really cool. Of course, we got Tool. I always love listening to Tool, especially older albums. Also like Tame Impala, like this kind of more chill psychedelic vibe,
What are
this kind of stuff.
What are your thoughts
basically,
on
yeah.
Dracula from Tame Impala?
Dracula? Is this one of the new ones? Yeah. I think the new album is released now, right? I listened to it one time, and I am not completely sold on it yet. I think I have to re-listen to that, to be honest. So yeah,
That's really good.
I'm not sure yet.
I mean, it's always good to know what people are constantly listening to, because I don't know, maybe you've never heard of them and then you get an opportunity to. But at least,
Mhm.
I mean, with Sleep Token though, like, ooh, if you've ever wanted to see, like, it's not to break this apart, but like, I'm sure you've seen videos of like teenage girls going to see Jonas Brothers, right? And they're just like, oh my god, Jonas Brothers, right? That's what they're doing right now with the guy from Sleep Token. Is they're like, oh my god, he's got abs and he's handsome and he sings and he cries and has emotion. He's the type of guy for me. It's like the silliest thing. You gotta check it out. It's either on TikTok or up on YouTube. It is.
Yeah, I do actually have to check that out. Yeah. That's funny.
Speaking about listening to people, who are your top 3 VRChat DJs that we get to see?
Yeah, I mean, it always will shift, and there's too many to talk about. But top of my head, I would say, of course, this little dude over here. Somehow, I don't know, still one of my favorite DJs. He'll always he has this energy.
That's what he came in for. He just wanted it. He wanted those head pads.
Headpads. I can give him that later. Yeah.
I'm locked into my Google.
Constantly evolving. Always multi-genre DJ since the start, and constantly evolving in the music taste. It's great. So you can always check out a new set. It's always going to be different every couple of months. Some new tracks and some new tunes and some new vibes, which is so cool. I love that. Yeah. Then I think Merlz from the US community, big neuro funk DJ, amazing. Like, he's so insane, even outside of the decks, like so energetic, and on the decks even crazier, triple dropping stuff and whatever. I don't even know what's going on, but amazing energy, just amazing energy. Well, that's 2, I guess. And I don't know if I have to think of a third one. Might be Burger Beast. Enjoyed the set at Four Seasons 2. It's just, I guess, just like in quotation marks, dance floor drum and bass, but mixed so well, like perfect. Like it's very polished sets. It's just enjoyable. I love it.
Yeah, I've been talking with Burger Beast too. I've been wanting to get him on the program. He doesn't seem very interested in coming on to talk, so I would say let's DM him, right? I would assume that we would want him on the show.
Do it. Yeah. I'm not sure if they go by him still. I think she might go by she, her now.
Oh, okay. That's always good to know, obviously, as we're continuously getting to know each other a lot more moving forward too.
I was going to give a little hint in the chat box that you don't see in the stream.
Yeah.
No, it's a recent change, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's very recent.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, listen, I only come in here once a week. So when it's time to actually get to know more people and their transitions and how they handle their biz here in social, it's kind of a thing. Speaking of socials, where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be mostly Blue Sky, just username Medlish, I guess. Same for YouTube is my second source. It's where I upload my video. It's my sets. Most of this like sets were recorded actually, like with visuals or like in game. And then the third one would be the Here It Is. I think it'll be under the video right later on YouTube. You can also find me there through Medlish, the username. It's hearthis.at, and then you can probably search there. That's where I upload my sets, which are just audio basically. And that's the 3 most sources I use. There's a couple old ones. I'm still on Twitter a little bit, but only very seldom, and
Hey, the way that they say it is that it's free for now. So why not use it while it's free for now and then get your name out there? But Medlish, obviously, always a really good pleasure to hang out with you whenever I get an opportunity to. I'm really glad VRChat decided to clean up their act and actually plug in the computer again for us to come back and hang out. But
finally pressed the button.
Yeah, somebody tripped over the cord, and that's just kind of how that was played out. But Medlish, thank you for coming on the show, and we hope to see you again real soon.
Thanks, Rob. It was a pleasure to be on here. Yeah,
and also everybody in chat, make sure you say hello to Merlz too whenever you see him running around. Give him some love.
Hi.
And, he's just chilling.
And honey.
Yeah, feeding everybody spicy honey without actually saying that it's spicy honey.
It wasn't that hot.
Yeah, you don't even have to put it on anything. Just put it in your mouth. I'm like, sure, whatever. I'm in Amsterdam. I'm good. I don't know why I said that out loud, but okay. Anyway, that's going to do it for us for VRC DJ Live. Of course, we've got plenty of things coming on down the road. And if you're looking to watch even more content, we have everything for you between highlights and replays. And soon in 2026, we're going to be doing a little sub-series about club venues. So we're gonna do a little bit of Instagram stuff, videos based on checking out new venues for you to check out. Of course, that's up on Instagram. You can see all of that up on YouTube at VRCDJ Live. We've got more information about our upcoming guests and more for you up on X and Blue Sky, of course, at VRCDJ Live. We also have a link tree provided with everything that you're gonna need to watch everything about the shows, including if you're a guest or want to be a guest on the show, whether you DJ or you have a club, or even you're part of the community, we want to talk to you. So feel free to tell your friends. If you know a DJ or a community member that wants to be a part of our show, please fill out the forms. That's how we know that you're interested in wanting to be on the show. Don't just sit there and pout and be like, when's Rob going to ask me? Well, let me tell you, Rob's busy doing Rob things. And wouldn't you know, our staff meets and we like to talk in the staff. So make sure you fill out those forms and be a part of that. Really glad to have you guys here because now I get to announce this new month's poster. Drum roll, please. Look at that. For November, we've got a couple of fun things coming on down the road, including the next episode of VRC DJ Live Remote is actually going to be happening in Orlando, Florida at Off Grid, which, wouldn't you believe it, a bunch of VRChat DJs are collectively DJing in a parking lot behind a kava bar the night before EDC. So we're going to be hanging out there doing a live remote show of VRC DJ Live, just like what we did with Four Seasons, happening next Thursday. So make sure that you're tuning in for that and asking all of your questions. We got plenty of communities that will be stopping by and saying hi. Speaking of communities, one we haven't seen in a while, but for a very good reason, we're going to be talking with Jazz of Nuzzle coming in to explain everything that they've been doing in VRChat, as well as their recent move to the Central Florida area and starting to build their entertainment foray, I guess you would want to say, their entertainment business. Including DJs from Central Florida that also DJ in VRChat. So we'll be talking with Jazz of Nuzzle going on that week. The week before Thanksgiving, Mow the Lawn will be joining us in VRC DJ Live, and we'll be able to explain everything that he's got cooking, things that he loves to enjoy to do, as well as the stuff that he did at Four Seasons recently, as well as some other fun things down the line. So make sure that you check out all of that. Of course, during Thanksgiving break, it'll be break for us, so we will not be having a VRC DJ Live on Thanksgiving. Of course, we'll be having this and many more things for you up online, on Instagram, on X and Blue Sky, everything down the line, including some very fun things that if you're a DJ and you want to be a part of a very fun project coming up, we're going to announce it next week. So make sure that you're watching Off Grid next week as we get to announce that. So for Medlish and Merlz of Merlish and the VRC DJ Live staff, I'm Rob Roman. Thank you guys for coming by the VRC DJ Live, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.